Alright, alright, so, hello there everyone. My name is Ensei. I am a wanderer from an eternal void who is looking to find a place in this reality. I've been doing so by conducting analyses of Friday Night Funkin' mods, and today will be one of those. As I will be discussing the Trollge Files today, which in my opinion is one of the greatest stories I have ever played over all of the mods that I have played thus far. However, before we step into the main content that is the Trollge Files, we're going to look at where it started, which was the Blueballs Incident. So... yeah. Yes, I have recently been doing these analyses live. Generally, I've just been focusing on larger mods when it comes to doing them live. Because the Trollge Files is a generally larger mod that has a lot of content to provide, a lot of things go on within the songs that they offer. So we're going to be starting here with the Blueballs Incident. Warning, you are accessing the TCF system cases. Proceed with caution. So if I'm going to be starting with a general comment regarding the Trollge Files, is that overall, these are based off of a meme format from the 2010s, and which was referred to as Trollge Incidents. Which it's like, so they took the troll face, and they depicted him in a situation that proceeded with that was written out as a series of steps. And over the course of those steps, the troll face would just slowly lose itself. It pretty much turning into a monster over the course of those steps. Or just dying outright. Other people may die. It's like, they took the comedy that was the troll face and turned it into a genuine psychological horror. And I'm going to reiterate something that this mod said at the very start. There is an epilepsy warning. Just a genuine epilepsy warning, because this mod does feature a lot of flashing lights. It is more so in specific songs, but overall it's a fair warning. Yeah, I can understand that some of you are obviously fine with it. I just need to throw that warning out there for people that may have problems with it. So now, in regards to the Blueballs Incident, we only have one case, which is this one, Trollge Case 023. This is referred to as the Smiler Incident. So, the Trollge Containment Foundation asks for your help, Agent Blueballs. A Trollge individual has been detected wandering in your world. Your threat level is low, but you need to be careful. A special microphone made with anti-troll protein will be sent to the mission. Dearly, Derpina. Like, it's very serious.
I remember when I woke up, everything seemed so foggy. What were those voices? Those terrible voices that coerced me to troll. All I had in my mind were memories from a distant time. A time when I was happy. But what happened? Why? Just why? When I woke up I felt sad. Sad and lonely. Nobody comforted me. I was so alone. But there was something I was sure of. I needed to find him. Oh my dear friend. What have I do?
This particular thing here actually said, "What have I do?" which is written as, "What have I done?" Okay, well, yeah, I'll explain that here. So, the Trollge Files goes over multiple cases. The Blueballs Incident, which was essentially version 1, that only has this case. Trollge Files is version 2, which features multiple cases. And in terms of, like, the state of the mod, Trollge Files is it.
Why? Just... Wait, what?
And Agent Blueballs has arrived.
3, 2, 1, go!
We have ourselves a different art style, which I personally like. Alright, that's fine. Stay for what you can. Yeah, the health bar is a lot larger here compared to other mods. Yeah, the mod has a decent amount of length to it.
Why you two don't just get out of here and leave me alone?
I mean, he has a job to do.
Okay, I'm tired. If you are not leaving, then I will force you.
Three, two, one, go!
I hope you don't regret it. And for context, the first song that we played was Sadness. This is Rage. some of the notes are a little off timing with boyfriend. He's here.
I tried to be complacent. I tried to expel them peacefully.
Well, I guess, while boyfriend is treated as an agent on behalf of the TCF, the Trollge Containment Facility, boyfriend is still boyfriend, so he's going to do whatever he wants to do. Like, he's still who he is, which is honestly pretty important.
But all of this is useless. You got what you wanted, Blueballs boy. It's better not regret now. Let's do a little trolling.
To be stupid while doing his job. I mean, that's just boyfriend as a whole. Well, he's obviously not the brightest tool in the shed.
Beep. 3, 2, 1, go.
Now we move on to the incident. I'll talk about that vocal pattern later, because I'm not a fan of it. What's the lore behind this fellow?
This is all my fault.
I'll get to that in a
I did all
moment.
those terrible things to him. How am I going to face my sins if I can't even defeat this brat? Well, just do what you came to do.
So, after the incident, we are here at Redemption.
Thank you.
And yeah, we have our a little credits, because yeah, for this mod, this was it. Or at least, not quite it. That's the main incident. That is the one main case we have. But we do have someone else to deal with here. Now, the sense of who we just dealt with, that man is referred to as the Smiler. So he entered the shower. In a sense, he basically was, in a sense, like his soul was freed from the sort of Trollge virus that was infecting him. And like he had been freed from that. So yes, he's now able to rest in peace. Now, the sense of origin of what we have of this man is that he was a father. It's like he was a father with a wife and a small daughter. Okay, I'll read this in a moment, because this is actually referring to the other guy that I was just talking about. Like, there is another person we have to deal with, and that's what this is referring to. But regarding Smiler, is that he was a father with a wife and a young daughter, and eventually they parted ways, with the wife taking the daughter. The man fell into a depression, and would eventually, I believe, to my knowledge, he took his own life. However, now he is, after being infected by this Trollge-like virus, he's now kind of just wandering, searching for a certain someone to which is his friend, someone he knew. Which I'm going to be basing this off of Malicious Bunny's original video on Smiler, because Malicious Bunny is the main director of this mod. Malicious Bunny made a video regarding Smiler, and he kind of pulled a William Afton on us. I mean, at least in the sense, like, he wasn't intended to come back, but the thing is that he was never really much of like a psychopath in the beginning, and he was a standard man. The Trollge virus is what turned him into the freak of nature that he became. So yeah, according to Malicious Bunny's video, is that like the friend he's looking for is an individual referred to as Derp. He's searching for Derp. He wanted Derp to join him. And that's about as far as there is regarding the incident. It's like, he did end up capturing an individual and trying to convert them, under the sense that, like, this man, Smiler, was convinced that the person was Derp, so he tried to So, like, after attempting to turn derp, and after a possible failure, he ended up killing the man. He would eventually flee over to an alleyway to hide, and that's where Agent Blueballs would end up meeting him. Alright, so that's enough about him. There is a case on him. I do not know if it is in this mod. I do not remember if so. But here we have the next resident we have to deal with. With codename Just a Little Trolling, which is also another one of Malicious Bunny's videos. Actually, the first video that Malicious Bunny made. And so, Anomaly T-02-A was first recorded in world C124_A, in a densely populated urban area called New York City. The entity's origin is still unknown, but it is assumed to have been an unidentified person that was contaminated by TP cells. Yeah, that's the thing that I was referring to regarding this Trollge virus. After being exposed to the TP cells, the affected host isolated itself, going into a dormant state for an indefinite amount of time. Upon awakening, the entity, unidentified person, in preparation for the Stairway to Heaven incident, in which the local water supply was tampered with and filled with an oil-like substance, causing hundreds of thousands of citizens to soar into the sky after they came into contact with the substance. This phenomenon was recorded by an unknown source on a VHS tape and was found under rubble after the anomaly vanished. The Foundation has successfully acquired the tape, which was discovered using entity T_47_B's abilities, and is currently located in Unidentified. It is not known for sure what it is capable of, its disappearance one of the greatest mysteries of the Foundation. And what I'm currently blocking, let me just disappear for a moment. So, status unknown, danger level unidentified. Okay, no, we actually have more cases, which, these cases here are going to be the individuals that we will be coming into contact with in the Trollge Files. So I guess it's kind of convenient that we get to read on them now. So, codename Exalted. Actually, before I read this, one mention I want to make is so we're getting all the lore now. Yeah, pretty much, and then Trollge Files actually, in a sense, uses the songs to tell of the encounters we have after these backstories. Now, regarding Just a Little Trolling, the Stairway to Heaven incident, that is actually a Trollge incident that you can find on the internet. Like, it provides a detailed description regarding how it's like clouds came over New York City, and it just started raining corpses of people that looked like these trolls. I'm not quite sure why they're showing the lore of the characters here. I mean, I guess maybe for general purposes, we can look at these later. We will get the chance to look at these later. Or I guess rather, we can at least read up on this guy. But I guess back to the Stairway to Heaven thing, is that there actually are two variations of it. There's a Case A and Case B for Stairway to Heaven, and they have the same general premise. The only difference is that in Case B, it mentions how individuals that came in contact with this oil-like substance would soar into the clouds and just disappear. Here, which is what Just a Little Trolling's code name mentioned. But none of these other ones have any sort of relation to an existing Trollge incident, to my knowledge. But yeah, here is Smiler. Anomaly T_023_F was first seen wandering the streets of an urban city known as Unidentified. Its whereabouts before first sighting is unknown. On unspecified date in 22 blank, was seen sitting on a bench near an alley where patiently waited for individual D_23. A short time later was seen again carrying the corpse of individual D_23, who had his body mutilated and his eyes charred. After the actions, it fled to the alley, where it remained quiet until Agent Blueballs arrived. Apparently, the contagion was due to direct contact with Unidentified. Status contained, danger level low. well, which is what Derpina mentioned. Codenamed the Happy Clown, yeah, we're getting to him. And codenamed Trollface, access denied. Yeah, we do not get any information on the individual referred to as Trollface. And one last thank you. Thank you from the person from the people who made the mod. And I am also stuck here, so I'm going to have to. I need to reopen the game. So Trollface is the last one we unlock. Regarding the case of Trollface, we actually, and we get absolutely no information. Yeah, we have no information on codename Trollface. We are provided no information on it whatsoever. Alright, let's go back into the TCF system cases. I'm trying to remember. Oh wait, I believe this has multiple pages to it. Is there more information on... Oh, no, never mind. And all this stemmed from a meme that, due to FNF, turned order. Well, actually, this idea of the Trollge, like these Trollge incidents, this did not originate from FNF. This has been around for a good number of years. It was a decent amount of time after the troll phase that this Trollge incidents thing was around. So yeah, this is not an FNF thing. This is its own thing. I do not believe that there is I cannot remember like a intended way. Yeah, they just kind of they kind of just use FNF as a means of telling of this story.
3, 2, 1.
But yeah, I'm not sure if there is... I don't remember if there is an intended way to find it, but there is one more song that we can access.
3, 2, 1, go!
Ugh. At least if it would let us in. I know it is possible. Oh, wait a second. I think I'm remembering how. I think if I am to... Aha, there we go. Okay, so, no, yeah, you can see how, like, see how the cases text is moving. Well, so, options, about, and then if I press it again, now it's on none of them. Here we are. A messed up free play menu. Here we are. Murhanophobia.
Three, two, one, go!
Yes, here we go. Now we're actually playing. See, this is based... That's the phobia of what? Murhanophobia is the fear of flying. I believe it is also called aerophobia, but yeah, it is the fear of flying. the guy down there that's, oh, jeez. Yeah, the song is just loud. So yeah, the guy down there, it's like, if your health is lower than his axe, you die. That's just how he works. Essentially, we can see New York City from here. And yeah, the stuff that's flashing here is from that video I was talking about, the Just a Little Trolling video. Remember something about the dead bodies? Is this supposed to represent the day of when that happened, or is it just Stormy in the BG? Well, according to the case, it seems that it would be based off. It's a according to the case, a Stairway here was preparing for this day. Okay, so yeah, our encounter here is pretty much when he prepared for that day. So yeah, pretty much what is going on in the background is pretty much referring to what happened then. And later on, there will be other comments I can make on it, because I'm going to be showing the fact that I found like a Twitter thread by Malicious Bunny that gives a bit more context into some of the lore regarding these situations and the characters. And then, yeah, overall, this text is just a bunch of teaser stuff. But yeah, I guess it's like, since I'm here, it's like, let me go back to Incident regarding a few things. So, with Incident, a particular thing I do not like regarding its vocals is that it creates a situation of unrealistic circumstances with the vocals, because it has boyfriends singing two different patterns at the same time. Which is like, it's like, realistically, that's not how that works. And there's nothing in the song that prompts an ability to do so. And that trend is going to continue into the Trollge Files. It's just it could just be a personal taste thing, but I just don't, not really much of a fan of it. They could have made it flow in a way where one leads into the other. Because generally the two sets of vocals, one set is just doing like holds, and the other set is just doing a verse that is not holds. And I guess the last things that I can try to show are the things regarding getting killed. So something you will notice that I actually get health pretty quickly, and lose it pretty quickly too. That is going to change. The vocal thing, I'm not sure. It's like our main composer here, Easy Halt, it's like, I don't think I have not found, like, a sense of an explanation, because obviously no one really cared to question it. But I'm not quite sure what else it does, aside from being something that can overall just create more difficulty in the mod. Oh, the health bar. Anyway, let me just let myself die here. Yeah, it's like, the fact that his health drain can kill, you know, that is something to bear in mind, because that is going to be a recurring theme. Referring to the health bar. Oh yeah, that's also right. I can't pause, but at least I could die immediately. And I'll show real quick Taro Murhano's kill as well.
3, 2, 1, go!
The design of the health bar, I suppose there's like more of an aesthetic. There's probably more of an aesthetic choice that kind of fits with the health bar pretty much reaching the width of the screen. Yeah, and then there's also just that. The update for Trollge Files is a year old at this point.
3, 2, 1, go!
But anyway, there's no more to discuss there. That was the last thing that felt relevant to show with the Blueballs incident. So, now we move on to the main event here, which is the Trollge Files. Or, hold on, I need to try to do this better. Alright, here we are. Now we're gonna see how things have changed. And all the new stuff that we have. For accessing the TCF files, proceed with caution. I can't quite move my model out of the way for it. Alright, so I need to disappear again for a moment, but so cursed be the man, the one who lives through his own memories. Cursed be the man, the pathetic creature that lives on yesterday. Cursed be the man, the one unable to look towards the present with his own eyes. And if I move myself, from George Williams. So, we're gonna be looking into the Trollge Files here. There are, like, small things that have changed. Oh, let me return. Thank you. There are small things that have changed with this mod, because there were 2 updates that were given to this mod. I'll mention the relevance of those updates once we come across something that actually was updated. I mean, technically, this effects toggle is actually one of them. And I believe it was also like an optimization toggle, essentially. So for people that may have had problems running the game. So the immediate first thing that we're actually able to play in the Trollge Files is a tutorial. Very few mods genuinely do this, where they will actually force you to do the tutorial before you can actually access the new stuff. So I think it's a nice change of pace that this mod chose to enforce you to do the tutorial, and it also chose to create an entirely new song to serve as the tutorial. What is dead must stay dead.
3, 2, 1, go!
They teach you new mechanics or something. Generally speaking, no. They do not really teach you the mechanics. So, those are... You still just have to deal with them when you come across them. Also, if you notice about my health, you see how slow my health goes up now? Oh yeah, my health bar disappearing. That is an aesthetic thing. It indicates that I am at max health right now. Now that we've actually gone through the tutorial, see, now we can start. And I'll bring this up. So, Boyfriend's voice in the Blueballs Incident consisted of nothing but a single voice sample. And that voice sample was simply pitched. Like, that was all his voice was in Blueballs Incident. In the Trollge Files, he now has his entire voice. Now, I personally preferred the older voice because the older voice was very unique. Being able to make a very good voice just out of one voice sample, was honestly really impressive. So I thought it was overall better that it just had how Boyfriend's was originally. However, it's likely that they changed the voice for the new one because Easy Halt is not the only composer for the songs of the Trollge Files. There are 2 new people here, so it's likely something that they chose to do for sake of consistency. FNF retelling stated what happens to the other FNF cast, or is it unexplained? No one else in the FNF cast is touched on here. It is only Boyfriend and Girlfriend that they touch on. So, let's get started. Now, we are starting with the exact same
Foundation
incident.
ask for your help. Agent Blueballs. A Trollge individual has been detected wandering in your world. Your threat level is low, but you need to be careful. A special microphone made with anti-troll protein will be sent to the mission. Dearly, Durbina.
Yeah, there's a lot more of, like, voice acting.
I remember
In
when
quote,
I have wake up.
voice acting.
Who were all those voices in my head? Those terrible voices that told me to troll. All I have in my mind are memories from. When I woke up, I felt alone. Everything was so cold, so lonely. No one helped me. No one was there for me. I was so alone. But there was something I was sure. I need to find her. Oh my dear princess. What have I done? I'm a monster. I deserve to die. Why? Just what?
3, 2, 1, go!
Well, considering that Boyfriend's talent is his ability to sing, the way he could try to utilize the special powers in the special protein would be through a microphone, because that's the best execution that Boyfriend has of actually using something. Yeah, I will say it's like, again, like, while I am not exactly a fan of the voice change, these instrumentals are a lot better. Although the atmosphere of these songs has just been majorly improved. try to find an opportunity to talk about Smiler again, because there is more that comes from Smiler.
What is the problem of you two? What the hell is the problem with you two? I'm a skeleton monster aberration with a robotic voice. Why are you two not running right now? If you two don't get out of here right now, I will need to force you.
There's a lot more life in this storytelling here, which is
3, 2, 1, go!
incredible.
Congratulations. You got exactly what you wanted. My desires. My wishes. All my existence. None of that matters. Oh yes, I finally understand. In the end, everything I needed all this time was so simple. Blueballs boy. Let's smile together. Let's do a little trolling.
3, 2, 1, go!
Versus 5 imposter rooms. I cannot quite confirm that. I have no idea myself. Yeah, I know, it is hard. The music is just so loud. But yeah, I'm not sure I'm like version 5 imposter. I don't know when I'd be getting that. Do that. Quiet moment. Quite enough moment, I guess. But yeah, now realizing the relevance with like why he's searching for Derp because of Derpina. Derpina's appearance reminds him of his daughter.
Stop. I cannot stand it anymore. Just let me suffer in peace.
Daddy?
What was that?
Daddy?
My child, where have you been?
I was just kidding a little bit. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, my dear. The important thing is that you're okay.
I love you.
Me too. My dear daughter, me too. My daughter. What did I do? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Like, that's just what this man cared so much about.
Do what you came to do.
Now, the comment I want to make regarding, like, quickly with, like, the voice acting is that technically, it's that most of these voices are, like, based off just text-to-speech programs. Like, very specific text-to-speech voices. Alright, I see. It was nice to have you stop by. Like, even though it is just, like, text-to-speech, it's still, like, still so compelling to listen to. Because of the way it's used. my daughter, I may not have been the best dad in the world, and for disappointing you many times, however, there is something I needed to tell you. I can't redeem my sins, and there's no way to bring back the ones I made suffer. That's why I don't expect you to forgive me, but I wish you good luck with your life. Good luck, my little baby.
From the depths of my soul, I need to say, thank you, my friend.
Yeah, this is where the real story begins. Like we've gone through our first case, but there's a lot more that we have to do. Come on stage at midnight and take your other microphone with you, your dear friend.
Greetings, my dear agent. You don't know how happy I'm to know you're still whole. Just kidding. What do I want? It's pretty simple. I'm here for the same thing as everyone else. A rep beta. Don't be so apprehensive. We both know you can't wait for this. Let's have fun together. Let's play a game. A fun game. Where there are winners and losers. A game that we can have fun. What do you think, my dear? Let's make a deal. All you have to do is accept.
Yeah, so this right here is going to be the main character of our story, a completely new Trollge. This man is referred to as Legion, and he is the one that's going to be bringing us through all kinds of hell. So yeah, he's offering us a game, and we can either accept or reject. Well, let's try a first attempt to say, let's reject him. Yeah, because by doing so, it closes the game. Okay, so yeah, now we have two little icons in the top right. So yeah, that dialogue right there was just referring to the fact that Legion took over the world because of our choice to neglect him. Our choice to avoid him. Well, we have with the two icons up there. The one with the axe, that we got from from completing Smiler's case. And then that second one, now you can't have a playthrough where you do not actually get that second one. To get that second icon, you have to initially reject Legion's offer. So it's like, if you accepted it first, you will basically never get that icon. So basically we got the worst ending. Pretty much, yeah. By rejecting him, we have essentially gotten the worst ending.
3, 2, 1, go!
So yeah, now we have to go back through here again so that we can make that choice again. Oh yeah, I guess I'll also just randomly mention this. The fact that you can actually access the options in the pause menu. This was actually added as part of an update. And the main reason was because of bot play. Now, this is going to become more relevant later, but I will mention it now. Malicious Bunny released a video that was a playthrough of the entire mod. In that video, Malicious Bunny did not actually play the mod. They had bot play on the entire time. That's obviously bringing up some questions. Why exactly would Malicious Bunny just have a bot playthrough rather than attempting it on their own? Well, that's because overall, much as I mentioned with like the potential reasoning for why the vocals are done in like singing two different verses at the same time, this mod is quite difficult. Like, songs will get quite difficult. So that could be the reason why the bot play is here. However, that was suggesting that perhaps the mod was a bit too difficult. If the creator of the mod had to use bot play to get through it, perhaps the mod was a bit too difficult. But here, I'm just gonna turn it on just to get through these ones here.
3, 2, 1,
Here, I'm not gonna bother myself with this. And I'm just going to just lower the music a bit. Because overall, I'm kind of just talk for the time being about what's going on here. Yeah, it's like, Sadness overall has gotten a much bigger, a very, very worthwhile upgrade to how it was before. Gotta lower it a bit more. These songs are just too loud. Given the volumes I have them at. Yeah, it's not quite relevant in Smiler's Week regarding this difficulty. Murhanophobia was probably like the first case of like showing something like that. Incident was a general attempt at having something more difficult. But once we step beyond that, that's where we start to step into some crazy territory. And speaking of incident, that is actually going to matter in specific because there were a decent number of people that made fun of Incident because Incident was meant to be the most difficult song of the mod, but it in itself did not offer too much of a challenge in comparison to the other songs. And then just as a whole, the song was just not that difficult. So there were a lot of people that made fun of that. Well, there is a song in this mod that was intentionally designed to be difficult. That was like one of the main driving things behind the song.
What is the problem?
3, 2,
Now, for general purposes, having a song that was intentionally designed to be difficult, well, it depends on how exactly you go about taking your approach with how you want to express that difficulty. Generally speaking, when it comes to this mod, it was not a good idea to make the song as difficult as it ended up being. mean, obviously, because of the story that this mod tells, those songs being difficult play into that. But that song in specific took it to a level that felt unnecessary. Like, it was difficult to the point of being potentially unbalanced. I mean, when that song comes up, I will do my best to clear it in one attempt. I cannot guarantee that, but I will do my best to try that.
3, 2, 1, go!
These Trollges obviously look quite freakish, but I feel like what's more, like, what makes them feel a little creepier is the way they move. Like, their movements do not have, like, a proper reasoning to them. Like, their movements are just very random. Like how, like, the back pose is striking that kind of pose. Like, the left is striking a pose, whereas the others are just... Like, one points, one strikes a pose, also you have the other general movement. It's just very random. Random as to how the Trollge is moving, which overall just gives more of a creepy vibe to it. And then since we get to see this again, the fact that the health drain can kill is still a thing. That has not changed from version 1. I'm just not going to be I'm not going to be re-showcasing that. That we need to get ourselves back to that decision. I guess something I could try to attempt to talk about is, a sense if I were to give scores to the Blueballs Incident. I mean, overall, what I can say about the Blueballs Incident is that, as a whole, it is very well made. And it was also before the difficulty got out of hand. So if I were to use my 4 scores, I would say that art and animation would certainly get a 10. There is a lot of aesthetic that comes from the art and animation of the mod. The songs are just pretty well made. I have my issue with the the use of having 2 separate vocals playing at the same time. Although by the intention of the song, it's still doing what it's set out to do. The gameplay does have some charting errors in them in the original. And the health drain in Incident is manageable because of the notes you have to play during that portion. and what leads up to it allows you to build health, so that you can deal with the health drain. So gameplay, I'd say, lands at like a 9 out of 10, and mostly just the charting errors being the problem. And then the concept is 10 out of 10. It is an original premise, and it is very consistent with itself. It is a very compelling story, and there is logic to defend everything that is a part of the mod as a whole. So yeah, Blueballs Incident is only hindered by some charting errors in its game. By some charting errors. So the gameplay is partially ruined, partially hurt. Yeah, my bad for just pausing the gameplay there. But I've already done this, so we're just trying to breeze through. My daughter, I may not have been the best dad in the world, and for disappointing you many times. However, there's something I needed to tell you. Even if for that I had to come back from the dead again, I can't redeem my sins, and there's no way to bring back the one I made so much suffer. That's why I don't expect you to forgive me. But I wish you good luck with your life. Good luck, my little baby.
From the depths of my soul, I need to say, thank you, my friend.
Right, now we are back to our decision point. Here we are.
Greetings, my dear agent. You don't know how happy I'm to know you're still whole. Just kidding. What do I want here? It's pretty simple. I'm here for the same thing as everyone else. A rep beta. Don't be so apprehensive. We both know you can't wait for this. Let's have fun together. Let's play a game. A fun game. Where there are winners and losers. A game that we can have fun. What do you think, my dear? Let's make a deal. All you have to do is accept.
Alright, here we are, so we've rejected him and seen that we were brought a bad ending to the story as a whole. Where Legion took over. Well, now let's accept his offer and continue and play this game he has in store for us.
Wonderful.
A lot of threes for this edition of Troll Physics. Oh. Whoops.
3, 2, 1, go!
Well, hold on a second. I have to pause anyway because I have to get myself off of the bot play. Yeah, get myself off of bot play.
Three, two, one, go!
Now, let me also try to re-trigger that cutscene. Alright, there we go. Yeah, it locks you in the story mode when you've started it. And it will essentially, if you exit the song, it closes the game, and it'll just restart you back at whatever song you were last on, which the game does not give any indication of.
Oh no, it looks like someone forgot to turn the lights on. Let's turn it on together. Oh no, looks like we have a lighting problem. Let's take a little break. Today, our presenter will teach you how to fly. Before we start, go to the blackboard. Hold on. Brotip, you can use magnets to get faster. And now, our presenter will explain how it works. Easy steps to... And now, let's call our special guest. The rain is coming.
Alright, here we are.
Three, two, one, go!
So here's the song that we essentially this is a song we basically got teased on in Blueballs Incident. This is Murhanophobia. Phobia again. They've toned down the scroll speed. The guy actually, the health bar is still here. But now we have something new. That yellow note. I mean, for general reference, pretty much any special note that you end up seeing is bad. There is one exception, but that comes much later. pretty much every mechanic that is in place is out to kill you. I mean, the one here, pretty much this yellowish note will essentially just drain a mass amount of health from you if you hit it. And considering the guy with the axe, unless you're like already at low health, that note is likely just going to get you killed from the axe. And if you have low enough health, the note itself will kill you. As he said, the rain is coming. He's being more explicit with him referring to the Stairway to Hell incident. Stairway to Heaven incident. Yep, there we go. That's what happens there. I hit the thing, it took me to basically nothing, and so the axe ended up killing me. Yeah, so when you die in the song, you get something like this. Pretty much all of the new songs, well, including Taro Murhano here, they play this video, which pretty much plays into the case that the creature is based on. It's pretty much there legitimately is no sound. It's just a silent video just showing all these cinematic shots, but all in relevance to the case. Ace for this being the just a little trolling case. But yeah, pretty much, it's like, even though the note itself, like, does not kill you from full health, it still pretty much causes you to die, no matter how much health you have, because of the axe. So it's basically a kill note, which is just not fun. And something that will become apparent is that with these videos is that once this video does finish, the game closes. So yeah, we get to reopen the game and throw ourselves back into the song. But I'm just going to skip ahead for that. Like, if you choose to play the mod yourself, you can find the entire cutscene and view it for yourself.
3, 2, 1, go!
Like, I understand the idea of a song being very difficult. Difficult being used to serve a point. Now, having a song that forces you to play nearly perfectly, or avoid making a single mistake, or rather, if a single mistake can just overall cost you the entire playthrough, then that is where the fun dies. And when it comes to this mod, that's just the big problem. Like, having it be difficult is the point, but it is just too unforgiving. Now, the change to the health also plays to the fact that this mod is less forgiving. The fact that you gain health a lot slower in this mod basically means that in a situation like this, you cannot recover if you make a mistake. You just don't get enough health to be able to make up for a mistake. And also bear in mind, it gets more painful when you have songs like this, that it's like, it's more painful when you have to deal with that kind of condition on a longer song. So it's like, you have to spend a good amount of time just to get back to the point where you messed up, only to have to play well enough to avoid that same mistake. Okay, yep, that was my fault.
Three, two, one, go!
I'm not going to blame that on, like, on just the note being hard to discern from the normal note, because clearly that is not the case. That was just me not paying attention well enough. Although one thing that is not quite considered much is that the screen shaking does actually do quite a number on affecting your ability to recognize certain things. I obviously cannot blame it entirely on it, but it is having an impact. Like, overall, this song obviously has, like, just... The scenery just slowly changes with time, which is a nice aesthetic. It's like, it's the subtleties that give more immersion. Okay, that's unfortunate. Which I guess that is another thing.
3, 2, 1, go!
So now, it was quite dynamic with the health bar, with how health worked in Blueballs Incident, because you could get a lot of health, but you could also lose a lot of health. Well, here it's just more punishing because, well, you get very little health, but you could pretty much lose about just as much. I mean, I guess bear in mind that, like, this is a pretty immediate obstacle, and there is a lot more to this mod. Like, there's a good, there is a good amount of story to be told. But the fact that songs can just block you, can just barricade you from the rest of it. Like, the mod is so focused on its story, but it doesn't really make it easy to get through that story. It doesn't make it easy in being able to progress through that story. Like, you just have all this mess happening, just makes things so hectic. But the only ability to combat it is to just, you have to learn how to deal with it. Alright. But yeah, we should be in the clear, because this is the end of the song. Yeah, there we go. So now that we're done with the Stairway, let's actually move on.
Don't you like the dark? So, maybe I should turn on the lights. Welcome back, honey. Did you miss me? Of course not. Why am I so small? Oh, it's just a fluke. Actually, I must say this window is terribly comfortable. Why are you complaining so much? I can't sing. I can't dance. All I did was try to balance things out. Your memories, your experiences, your fears, your desires. If you really want to beat me, you'll have to beat yourself first. Seems to me that you are quite fond of clowns, don't you? So maybe this is the perfect opportunity. And just one last thing. Don't play dumb with me. We both know exactly what you're capable of. So go ahead and die over and over again.
Yeah. Legion is a very interesting kind of villain because, well, Legion is self-aware of Boyfriend's ability to just die over and over again, and essentially just reset the song to eventually get a victory. Child found dead in the local forest.
I will avenge them, even if I have to become a monster.
I will avenge them even if I have to become a monster. Such is the fate of James Jacobs from the Happy Clown Incident.
3, 2, 1, go.
So now, this song is called Paidophobia, which is the fear of infants and small children. Like, James Jacobs was a clown, and obviously cared for children. Richard, however, something would... a desire, a dark desire would build up within him that would cause things to go awry. And now we have more of this, of like singing two different patterns at the same time. Yeah, so the this song has basically two mechanics. The note mechanic, which if I hit one of those notes, it just makes that clown visual pop up. And then you have the fact that anytime I reach max health, it resets my health to a lower point. Not quite the greatest timings for making the UI fade back in. Oh yeah, and then here, the reason why it's like it flickers so much more, or like you see like so many more resets, because overall it just seems like I'm just gaining so much more health from hitting notes. So I hit max health more often, so it causes it to reset my health a lot more often. Alright. Yeah, it already shows that things are getting very hectic. And that's actually like the first new song.
Silence. You have no idea how much I love this deep silence. Don't you agree that the air feels so nostalgic? The 80s, those weird-haired people wearing colorful clothes and having fun like there's no tomorrow. But I don't really care. It's not like we were both born in this decade. I must admit, I am truly disappointed. I was hoping you'd finally give up halfway, but you're like an insistent worm. Maybe I have to go deeper into your head if I really want to destroy you. So, it's time to have a little nostalgia. You remember him, don't you? But of course you remember. Look at him, so still, so silent, so smiling. It's a shame you killed him. What was it? I'm just telling the truth. Enough. Go ahead and die.
Yeah, so now we have a rematch with Smiler.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, we have a rematch with Smiler. This is the song that gets unnecessarily difficult. The fact that you're, like, battling against Smiler again also kind of just plays into that. It's like, you're essentially having a rematch, but now things are much, much more dangerous. Oh yeah, and then for this song is Technophobia, the fear of new technology. Yeah, these sections where boyfriend sings by himself, and I am progressively losing health. And then there's also a bunch of those notes are hurt notes. Now, I didn't exactly have the greatest performance in that section, but look at how my health he just continuously takes my health multiple times. So it's like, if you do not get out of that section with enough health, you will just outright die. Like, you lose about, like, 70-ish%. So it's like, again, it's demanding. And unfortunately, we're not done with that. There's another section like that, the end of the song. There we go. Yeah, he takes you, he just constantly drains until you have nothing. And he's just gonna keep going. Now he has vanished, we're done with that memory.
Could you please explain how the fuck you still stand? This is becoming annoying. You should just fall and die. But somehow you keep coming back. If I really want to destroy you, then I will have to invade that small shit brain of yours through the front door. Oh, so that was the reason you joined that organization? I could use this. Let's try again. A long time ago, there was a young man. His objective was clear. Learn to play the piano. The reason you ask me? He wanted to impress a girl. She was the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. Her long black hair, her pale and fragile body, and her smile. Oh, her smile. He loved everything about her. One day she listened to his notes. And embarrassed, he finally admitted his feelings. The young girl blushed and decided to give the boy a chance. and soon the two fell in love. Happiness reigned in their lives. Nonetheless, the show must go on. The public yearned for more and more. His skills have been recognized around the world, and the boy became a man. But inside him something began to grow, something terrible. The lust, the sound of the audience, the people clamoring for more and more. He became a monster. They fought. She begged him to stop, but he refused to listen. The man had destroyed everything he loved. He was now alone. Alone in the abyss that he himself created. How ironic was that? How stupid was that? His existence was no longer right. His life no longer made sense. The sea. How I hate the smell of the sea. How I hate the feeling of water on my bones. And even when his awareness had already faded, the sound didn't stop. The audience continued to yearn for more. They screamed your name. They screamed out of nostalgia. So, he gave them what they most wanted. A tragic story, don't you agree? Cerulean boy. I don't think I'll ever understand any of your words. Now, let's sing together.
There's not much given in terms of like why BF is a part of this, or why he's a part of the TCF, but that gives a little bit of interesting information, alluding to Jenkins.
3, 2, 1, go!
Which this song is called Glossophobia, which is the fear of public speaking. And it's like, as it's told in that story, the pain that Jenkins felt was coming from how the audience was kept craving more. They kept wanting more from him. This song also features a new note type, but only on the side of Jenkins. and Jenkins has collapsed. I think it's pretty impressive how, like, even though pretty much all of the Trollges are based off of, like, they're all built from the exact same design, but their ability to have, like, those subtle changes between them, or sometimes drastic changes between them, and it gives them a lot more individuality.
You have no idea how fool you have been all this time for thinking it was all okay to sing with me without caring about anything. Now she is mine, and she is with me in the real world, and there is absolutely nothing that you can do. It's so cute to see how determined you are. If you want to get out of your own head, that's fine. But it's better not to regret it later.
Yeah, that statement he made there kind of just shows that Legion is very different because he is a psychological threat. Like, he's playing mind games with Boyfriend. Like, he's attacking his psyche. Like, attacking his essence. Rather than trying to harm him physically, he's harming him mentally. Now we actually get to see Derp. At least, what has become of Derp. And another new note type. This time, it simply just applies a small amount of health drain that just occurs over a short amount of time. Overall, it does, like, hurt. And then there's this, so that yellow, the yellow outline around the health bar, when that happens, I am unable to gain health. I can lose it, but I cannot gain it. These songs don't exactly have, like, the greatest, like, balance. Like, they don't have, like, the greatest curve between them. Because, like, this song and... Which, let me actually explain. So, this is called Technophobia, which is the fear of accidents. And pretty much, what happened to Derp was an accident. But yeah, overall, like, the balance, the curve between these songs is not balanced. Because, like, this song and Glossophobia are not that difficult. At least in comparison to Paidophobia and Technophobia. And Tarot Murhano as well. And Boyfriend just keeps on singing for a lot of this song.
You know, I love stories. I personally consider myself a real connoisseur. Unfortunately, those people took me out of my world and didn't even give me a single book to read. Oh, don't you want to hear my magnificent sad monologue? Don't be impatient, little Blueballs boy. The time we spent together was so much fun. Okay. You beat me, so I have to keep my part of the deal. Just don't regret it.
The horror that comes from Legion is truly something incredible. Like, it is so unnerving to listen to him and what he talks about. Well, so we're finally out of our own mind. But now what do we get to see? Because girlfriend was taken by Legion, but now what has happened?
She is right here.
Welcome back, honey. And
Isn't she beautiful? Look at her. These are the consequences of your actions. Now she is mine. She is only mine. And this is all your fault.
Legion has gotten to boyfriend where most people could never reach. Legion has genuinely made boyfriend snap.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why the mouse appears in this song, because the mouse has no use. Oh, whoops. For whatever reason, this song has 3 different special notes. Appreciate it, Imperial. Yeah, 3 different ones. There's that red one, which that changes the orientation of the UI. It basically just rotates at 90 degrees, or 180. Depending on how it just overall rotates the UI. The black ones that we just passed, that just makes the screen darker, which makes it harder to see. And then there's that those like purplish pink ones that we're passing by, which those drastically increase the scroll speed. And now, the thing with, like, girlfriend pushing me is that, like, she technically is not, she's not, pretty much, she essentially, like, has a limit to how far she could push me, and that limit just keeps increasing as the song continues. Because, like, it was much, like, she gave me a lot more room at the start, but as we get getting further, she's just been progressively pushing me more and more. Because now we're, like, past the halfway point. And so generally it's like somewhat, like, the timing of it was, like, generally timed to, like, her use of the red notes, but that's not always the case, as was the case there. She's been bringing us between, like, the stage, the alley. And it's like the original stage, the stage for the tutorial, a Trollge version of the highway, and the alley where we face Smiler. I will save you. Because no matter what happens, you will always be my dear love. A mod that really plays into the relationship between these two.
3, 2, 1, go!
So yeah, now we have to try to save her. But I'm just progressively losing health. And there's just not really anything I could do about that. You can actually see a troll. You can actually see, like, a Trollge head outline there, presumably Legion. So Legion is interfering. Like, I can sing for as much as I want, but I cannot stop the health drain. And again, everything in this mod kills. So he kind of just stops me.
How fool you are. Did you really think you could save her? You lost. And now your world, and everyone in it belongs to me.
And the game intentionally closes itself. So. Let's go back in. I want to tell you a story. A long time ago, there was a child named Arthur. All he ever wanted was to be big and able to make people smile. But when he got everything he wanted most, he had been forgotten. There's just so much detail into everything that this mod does. Nothing matters. Nothing matters, give me power. And that stuff is referring to Legion.
Welcome back, honey. Where is your education? Maybe staying asleep for so long made you even bolder?
Where is everyone?
What do you mean? We are all right here. Your friends, your family, your passion, and everyone in your world. Everyone. Everything. We are it. Just me.
I will stop you.
How stupid are you? Do you really think there's anything you can do?
I don't care. If that is all I have left, I will stop you. Boyfriend has become something different, even if it costs my life. Fool.
3, 2, 1, go.
So now, that little circle right there, that's my mouse cursor. Now, in this song, that's actually relevant. You'll see soon enough. Because this is Glossophobia. Yeah, because we have to deal with a bunch of stuff. Like this guy that just spawns in corners, that guy who spits words and symbols at us. Like, you have to multitask mechanics that are tied to using the mouse while doing this, which involves playing with the keyboard. If you can actually see those like outlines of notes, those are actually notes I'm intended to hit. Like, it's not really a mechanic, it's just basically a different note skin essentially, because it's still a normal note. And yeah, Boyfriend's design, I love it. And now you have another one where we have to gotta keep the eyeballs from collecting on the screen. Because, like, if there's too much of it, we just die. Alright. Hey, this is where the epilepsy comes in. Oh my.
Your powers are totally useless in my domain. You can't go back.
Well, we just have to try again.
Three, two, one, go.
Yeah, Technophobia had all its nonsense, and this one has other nonsense. And then I guess I'll explain. Agorophobia is the fear of being forgotten, or the fear of forgetting something. In regards to Legion, and what we saw from Arthur's story, it's the fear of being forgotten. And stop the trolls that are in Trollges that are in the corners. Okay. It's like, this is just genuine final boss, like, just bringer of destruction final boss music. Managing this. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Keep on trying. Sometime you'll go crazy and you'll finally give up.
Yeah, it's like, this is indeed the most difficult song in the entire mod. I think it is also kind of interesting how, like, the bars do not get destroyed with some of the notes. It's like, I am still effectively hitting the note, but the bar visual just does not go away. Alright. I really got off sync in that one thing, because my health just plummeted. Alright. Okay. And also, there is no way to cheat this. Like, you cannot access the chart editor, so, like, there is no cheating this. Why? I'm alive. Ah.
Do you really want to continue with this? You know you can't beat me.
You know what? Fine then.
I got it. I finally got it. Yes. All of us We are Legion. We become one, and I became God. Now nothing and no one will forget me. All these mine, all these souls, everyone is looking at me, just at me.
Or at least so he
What
thought.
is it? The sound stopped? The voices. Did the voices stop? Who are you? What is that sound? God, what have I done?
And there's our second close. You shouldn't be here. I know who you are. Your determination has brought you here. How do you feel? Don't like it? Humanity is so attached to the past. Do you really want to go back and stop this? How sinful are you humans? You are different. You're tied to ropes just like me. But unlike me, you just accept them. I can do it, but you need to prove your worth.
Three, two, one, go!
Yeah, so we're back here in My Dear Love. But this time, we can stop what Legion's doing. Have to keep it up until the song ends. quite a timing for someone like you to show up. Legitimately showed up for a sad song. At least this time, you're able to get through this.
How did you do it? My plan was perfect. You were supposed to have lost, and I finally become a god. Who are you laughing at?
How pathetic.
Who are you calling pathetic?
Pathetic creature.
What is this I'm feeling? What is this feeling in my chest? What did you do to me?
All this time, all those I have faced,
Do not approach.
you're the only person that I really
Please do
hate.
not do this. Oh shit.
And with that, we're brought to the end of Legion's story. Like, the storytelling is phenomenal. Phenomenal. It does such an incredible job at creating an atmosphere that really makes you feel like you are a part of the world. Bro, it overall makes it feel like there's more weight to your actions. Just the art is impeccable with its unique style. You know, the soundtrack is just full of songs that really convey the stories of these characters. The concept is just so unique, and everything feels like though it has purpose. But the one thing that really ruins it is the gameplay. Look, boyfriend. We've brought you your closure to this story. Ori, Legion has been removed. So you are free to enjoy your time now. Now, nothing else is here to bother you. But the one thing that really ruins this mod is the gameplay. It just overall feels very unbalanced. It's like there are so many mechanics, so many different note types, rather, that are not explained, very punishing, and when you have just the fact that most songs have a considerable length, like most songs are around 4 minutes, which is generally longer than a standard song, which I would assume a standard song it's like 2 to 3 minutes. So having a song of around 4 minutes, and it's like, it usually ends up being most punishing near the end of the song. It does not make for a fun experience. Like, even though I could fairly manage it, it's still not exactly the most enjoyable to play through. Plus, in my opinion, while the general usage of the jumps is like explainable, and like has some merit in certain locations, it gets used enough to the point where it's not that special. Like, it's not really serving much of the proper purpose of enhancing the mood of the song. Because the thing is that the mood of the song itself is already being set pretty well just by the music and the art and such. It's like that in itself already does such a great job at setting the tension. And so the chart can help with that, but in this scenario, the chart does not need to help with that. So it's like the gameplay is just very, very overbearing on the player. Alright, now we have our third icon. We got ourselves a little medal for completing the story. Now we're able to view these memories.
Why was I rejected? All I want is to be by your side. So why did you make that face when you saw me? You do not remember me? Don't you remember your own father? I got rid of all the things in our way so we could be together again. I tried hard to come here to talk to you. You hate me? Isn't it my fault? I know what I did. I know I hurt someone important to you.
Going back to the story of how the father made a decision that would eventually lead to them separating. Okay, now we have, let's see about Stairway.
The voices don't stop. They tell me things. My doctor prescribed me some medicine to help me. But I don't want to take it. My plan is perfect. I can get this. If I do this, nothing and no one will be able to ignore me again. Yes, I know I can. I'll show everyone that I'm still capable. This will be the best show ever. The whole city will see. Everyone will fly.
Okay, James Jacob, the clown.
I hear the sound. That deep sound of footsteps in the middle of the forest. Even though I've long since lost the ability to sleep, I still have nightmares about that day. That crimson sunset. I will never be able to forget. The sound. The screams. They still make me shiver just remembering. Now I'm here. Right here. I feel like I'm close to finding him. I remember your face well. No matter how long they try to hold me here, no matter how hard they try to rid me of my own body, I will find the man in the hat. Even if I spend all eternity sitting there, he will come to me. Sometime, he will come to me.
Nadia Garcia, hello there. Just taking a look at the memories of these Trollges. Next is we have Jenkins here, our pianist.
Pain. I feel pain. Why am I alive? Why do I feel so much pain? And those voices. Why do they want me to do these things? I should be dead. I made sure of it.
What mod is this?
Why? Why?
Let this finish real quick.
That music. That. It's mine. Who is listening to my music? Oh. I hate this sound. I will stop this sound.
This is the Trollge Files. That's the mod that this is.
I already forgot how much time has passed. When did I get here? How long have I wandered in this vacant land? I don't know. I don't even know anymore. This place is so weird. Bomb-headed men. Talking TVs. I feel stupid for stopping right here. And the worst thing for me is that I don't feel able to use my own powers properly. I don't know where I'm going, but the closer I get, the more this unsettling feeling in my chest expands. There is something here that is like that prison, an agent. I don't know who, and I don't know where, but I will find you. That's it? Dad, dearest? Interesting.
You have a good one, Garcia. Luigi kind of just expressing how he managed to find boyfriend in the first place. Well, now we get to look at this thing, the trial phase. Yeah, so this is a song.
3, 2, 1, problem.
Yeah, this song ends up going through all the mechanics, pretty much. Well, most of the mechanics. Most of these note mechanics are in this song in some way. So it's like you had the hurt notes from Technophobia, you have the yellow notes from Murhanophobia, and more. Something I will mention about this song is that in the initial release of this mod, this song was not humanly possible. So they had to patch it to make it humanly possible. Alright, well, out of the sticko portion, Health is kind of just spazzing. We're also kind of just we're kind of just rotating. And there we go, that's it. And we just squish and rotate. Obviously, this is the weakest link of all the songs. I mean, it is a joke song, but I mean, we've seen some impressive joke songs, but it's like, yeah, generally speaking, usually the joke songs are not the ones to take the spotlight. I mean, if they are, that's kind of questionable. And look, we get ourselves another little icon for beating that. And also, here's another important thing. So you could kind of see there, let me just, yeah, so there's now a songs option. So that is free play. The only way to unlock free play is for you to beat that song. It's like, again, it is being very demanding. In order to get free play, you have to beat the joke song. Now I get to see all the stuff here. Sadness here. Rage. Incident. Redemption. Murhanophobia. And now, the order of the songs in free play here is not the same as the order that you play them in story. Because Dystichophobia is next in the free play, but the next song would have been Paidophobia. It's right here. You have Technophobia. You have Glossophobia. Thanatophobia, which I actually did not mention that. I did not mention that when I played it. So yeah, Thanatophobia, that is the fear of death. Which is like in relation to boyfriends. Like, boyfriend fears the fact that he could lose girlfriend. Like, that's what he fears. And that's what Legion gets out of him to finally make boyfriend snap. My Dear Love. Athazagorophobia. Yeah, Your Mom, that's the name of the song. And, we actually have one final song to play. Hey, this is the closer. Daisuke. Okay, the Japanese statement for I love you. Like, you can see, like, Girlfriend's appearance is pretty different. Not even just from how she started, but also just in general, just a new look that she has. And I'm a fan of it. Hello there, person. Good to see you here. Afraid I cannot read your name, but good to see you here. We will be together until the end of time. I will love you forever. That is why I love you. It genuinely brings a heartwarming ending to this story. And then that gives us the tree there, the final icon for beating Daisuke. Yeah, well, now we have more stuff in the extras, such as the TCF files. Access denied. The images here are for training new recruits only. Entry 0007, featuring the beta symbol, the pianist incident. Individual's codename Exalted gives a full-blown breakdown of this character. Individual currently in containment. The individual appears to be a post-mortem manifestation of a musician formerly known as Jakin. Somehow the intense wish and nostalgia for his music ended up recreating his existence through the influence of T cells. The individual was previously sighted wandering through the streets of a small town located in Rio de Janeiro, where he began and surreptitiously killing, creating panic and fear between locals to the point of being classified as a serial killer. After investigation, 3 agents were sent. However, there is an interference of unclassified due to human error caused while the agent shifted between worlds. Somehow the classified clashed with the individual, and after what appeared to be a musical duet, the individual surrendered himself, leading up to him being locked up in a standard room inside the TCF. Now, there is a lot of information on these characters. Skin graft incident. This is actually a new person we did not see. And containment incident unconscious. Little is known about the individual, as he was not under surveillance during the period in which he was active. His first reported sighting was by Classified, as he was setting up flyers in hopes of finding his then missing fiancée, during which the subject then approached Classified, informing him that he is aware of his fiancée's whereabouts, in which he gave Classified a photograph of said fiancée strapped to a chair with her face surgically removed, where the individual would then approach Classified to show that he is wearing Classified fiancée's face, to then be hit upside the head by Classified using a steel pipe. Subject is currently unresponsive and has been in a coma for an extended period of time. Entry 23. The Trolling Revenge Incident. Individual's codename Corruptus. Individual is currently destroyed. This individual isolated himself after inexplicable events, of which he began to plan his revenge for when he started to suffer the effects of Classified caused by T cells. While pursuing his goal, the individual intentionally caused a horrible genocide. He failed to get the revenge he sought out, and over time turned into a large-scale threat. After the use of his replication ability, the individual ended up acquiring information beyond his own earthly understanding. His power kept growing stronger. The individual tried his best to suppress this power, though it was proven to be too much for him to handle, since he wasn't able to return to normal. This ultimately resulted in a self-destruction. And now we have entry 36, which is the Happy Clown Incident. The Foundation encountered the individual locked in a basement with dozens of children. Following numerous investigation and questioning with citizens and local authorities, there was found to be some kind of widespread fear and confusion about the order of some events. What was known until then is that children were found dead in a forest, and that a local clown had taken others into a basement. And every time an adult dared to approach the clown, he would react with enormous aggressivity, and it triggered a profound amount of fear in his victims, who later began to aggregate auditive and visual hallucinations, leading up to chronic insanity and eventually death. The Foundation was able to successfully capture him after an extensive number of failed attempts. He is now currently locked up in an extremely small metal cage due to his aggressive nature upon any individual. Fortunately, there doesn't seem to be any viable way to transport him inside the Foundation, so the individual remains in his original world, being constantly watched. And this has a bunch of interviews with him. So there's much more on James Jacob than the others. And the concept is just all the nice concept art sketches that we get of these characters. So now overall, that pretty much brings us to everything that this mod has to offer. So what did I think of? So now, I'll give off my final scores, regarding my best sets of final scores for this mod. And overall, I'd say this mod certainly earns a 10 out of 10 in its art and animation. There's so much to the art. There's so much. It's like, it is a generally simpler art style, but there's just so much expression in the characters and the scenery. There's a lot of things that happen over the course of these songs. It is truly makes for a wonderful experience, even just from the art alone. Soundtrack. Again, while I am not quite a fan of the singing two different verses at the same time, I do not believe that causes a hinder to the overall intention of the soundtrack as a whole, so I would honestly say that the soundtrack gets a 10 out of 10. And very well composed, every song is its own unique story that truly defines the characters. Gameplay. I would say overall, the gameplay, there is a lot of problems that come from gameplay. Whereas the Smiley Week was generally fine, and to my understanding, fixed most, if not all, of the errors present, as in the Blueballs Incident. Going from Taro Murhano and onwards is just a mess of songs that is just mostly unbalanced. Some do fine, and they just feel oddly out of place because they feel easier in comparison to the rest. I mean, they're still hard in their own right, but still do not have the greatest sense of balance within themselves. So overall, I would say just the mass of just being unbalanced, not exactly the most enjoyable mechanics to deal with. They were, at the very least, some were certainly unique, and honestly could actually play well to the song's identity, but there's just not enough balance to it all. So I'd say overall I give gameplay an 8 out of 10. And potentially a 7, but I'd say an 8 out of 10. And then concept is a solid 10 out of 10. This story is so well crafted. So immersive. Every element when it comes to what goes on in the songs feels very intentional. Balance is a different question, but the overall intention is there, and it plays to that. It plays to the story it wanted to tell, and does so incredibly. Now, one last thing I'm going to do is I want to show you something real quick. I want to show you this. So Malicious Bonnie had a few more comments to leave regarding these characters. I'll tell you some fun facts about the individuals of the Trollge Files, starting with Boyfriend. So, the black microphone that BF carries is a weapon specially made for his personal use, which uses sound waves as a means of propagation. So, the microphone was intentionally designed to aggravate... It's intentionally designed to instigate the Trollges, and would serve to be used to essentially disrupt those T-cells. Those weapons are intended to protect their users and injure individuals categorized as Trollges, but because they are living weapons are extremely dangerous because they have their own personality and can even contaminate the individual's mind. Right. Stairway never met Boyfriend, let alone any members of the TCF. This version of the Stairway incident destroyed New York City, and long afterward went into hiding from society. Derp is harmless as a puppy, his mind is practically non-existent, and all he can do is walk awkwardly. Boyfriend's fear is justified only by his stupidity. Again, this plays into the fact that Legion is a psychological monster. He's messing with the mind. Which can overall make you believe things that are not true. It makes you feel things even if they're not justified. Smiler was a man who owned a simple TV store and killed himself after his daughter was taken away by his ex-wife. I explained Smiler's story much earlier in this stream, and this is basically the justification as to Technophobia being centered around technology, being centered around TV. That day, James Jacobs saw a man in a black uniform killing children. The sight of it was so traumatizing it never left his head, and even though he was unable to see the man's face, he was still very well able to see the symbol on your costume. Yeah, if you pay attention from the intro cutscene to Patophobia, that black silhouette you see, the one thing that was recognizable on it was the symbol on the man's chest. Yes, that's what he saw on Boyfriend. That's likely what instigated him from seeing Boyfriend. The pianist lost everything after his fiancée was run over. The young woman was also pregnant, which triggered a deep depression in his heart, until he gave up everything and threw himself in the Bala de Guanabara in Rio de Janeiro, a Brazilian location. Girlfriend took that form, what we see of her in Technophobia, due to the influence of Legion, who chose that appearance in order to infuriate Boyfriend. Exactly, trying to understand how to break him. BBI Girlfriend has only one difference with her original analog. Her mother is an Oni, making her part Japanese demon, which would explain the entire Japanese aesthetic that comes from Daisuke. After the events that unfolded, Boyfriend retired from the TCF as he was confident that no threat would come to his world again. And I guess I could also try to briefly showcase these mechanics. I mean, you've already seen some of them in action. Actually, but I could try to showcase other ways. Like Terra Murhano, you've seen the general extent of. Distico is quick and easy. Patophobia, we have already seen that. I've done that multiple times. I have indeed hit a hurt note. Hurt note that was done in the joke song. Joke song, so just showcase these mechanics. Yeah, it's just a simple health drain. Like, that's all it is. And it's like, the weird thing is that the song itself already has a health drain mechanic, and then the yellow one that I explained, which shows that you can't gain health. Glossophobia's node is only on the opponent's side, so it does not warrant anything, Thanatophobia would be the last thing to have to show. Because there's already the stuff that's gone in Athazagora. I guess I could show, like, messing up the eyes portion just to show that it kills. Why this song has 3 different new note types is not something I have an answer for. Yeah, so there's the red one, which just disorients the it just changes the orientation of the UI. And yeah, the black ones just simply, they just dim the screen, and which just makes it harder to see. And then hitting that, which increases the scroll speed. And also, unfortunately, you cannot pause in this song, so if I want to get out of here without closing the game, I just have to let myself die. Or not, I guess I can't escape that way either, so I have to do it the manual way. Alright, yeah. Yeah, one last thing I can show is just
3, 2, 1,
if you mess up the eyeball gimmick in here. Again, there's some things I may not effectively show. Oh, but it's like you can always check out the mod yourself and try and just explore. Yeah, these guys, they're just constantly taking your health away. Yeah, and you got to see the larger one that was spitting symbols and letters at me. That stuff hurts. Yeah, like, now Technophobia did not have, like, a justified reason for it to be as hard as it ended up being. Athazagorophobia, the reason why it is so difficult is because you're not intended to beat it. That's the whole thing. You're not intended to beat this song. That's why it is, it's like, there's so much nonsense because you're not intended to win. That's the entire point. That's why it's like in order to progress in story, you have to give up. I just ignore all this. It chomps down on you and you just die. I'll just continue to mention one last thing and then just think of something else. That's just sometimes how this goes.
Three, two, one, rhythm.
Just wanted to take a look at just seeing dying on a song like this, which is very different from everything else. Kind of just what exactly is like the different response it gives. This is a little psychedelic trip. A look through the kaleidoscope. Alright, we leave that alone. And then now we should be able to make our final stop. Just have a quick death and dice a key.
Go.
Oh, I see. An interesting dynamic. To be fair, this is essentially our epilogue, so you actually cannot lose in that song. Oh, it is an epilogue. It's like we have already won, so you cannot lose the song. Which is interesting because we actually saw that dynamic in Versus Imposter as well. But yeah, so that is the last of this. That is the close of our analysis. To just quickly recap the scores, like Blueballs Incident was 10 out of 10 in art, 10 out of 10 soundtrack, 9 out of 10 gameplay, 10 out of 10 concept. Trollge Files, 10 out of 10 art, 10 out of 10 soundtrack, 8 out of 10 gameplay, and 10 out of 10 concept. It's like, I hope this was entertaining to you all. Well, and I will see you next time.